Hi guys, welcome to Flip the Deck Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we're going to find out if the person on your mind is still thinking about you. So I have 4 readings for you to choose from today. If you feel drawn to more than one of these piles, you might be curious about more than one person, if more than one person is still thinking about you or not. So it might be worth checking out a different pile for a different person that you are curious about. For reading number 1, we have this white orchid. For reading number 2, we have this purple flower. For reading number 3, we have this really light yellow flower. And for reading number 4, we have this red flower. So choose whichever one you feel most called to. I'm going to put your timestamps down below in the description box. I'm going to jump in with reading number 1, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, number 1, if you picked the white orchid, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if the person on your mind is still thinking about you. So let's jump right into some tarot and see what we can see about whether or not you are still on this person's mind. Like I was saying in the intro, you might be drawn to more than one of these piles, and that could be because you're curious about more than one person. So definitely check out another group if you have questions about more than one person, figuring out if they're still thinking about you or not. Okay, we have the 7 of Voices, so 7 of Swords. We'll just move your flower off to the side. Interesting energy right away. Queen of Materials, so that's Queen of Pentacles energy. Somebody's not being honest about something. I'll tell you that right off the bat. If maybe you have contacted this person, or Hierophant in reverse, I feel like this person may have tried to make you feel like they weren't they weren't thinking about you. Maybe this is a conversation you've had, or you've run into this person and they have tried to play it cool, or denied still having you on their mind, something like that. Your cards are jumping out. Okay. So we had the 4 of Swords the 4 of Voices, which is the 4 of Swords, come out in reverse, and the 9 of Materials. Let's get the bottom of the deck energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Materials, the Moon, and the 9 of Emotions, 9 of Cups energy. Okay. Yeah, I do feel that this person isn't being completely honest about their feelings if this is someone that you have been in contact with. Let me just move your cards up a little bit. I have the feeling, which is very interesting, and it's like funny that this is happening right off in number 1. It's like you really threw kind of a doozy at me as I'm looking at this. I feel like this person is thinking about you, and there's the definite feeling that they feel that they shouldn't be. So you might have a better idea than I do as to why they might have the feeling that they shouldn't be thinking about you, that you shouldn't be on their mind, but I'm definitely picking up on that energy. This person might be in another situation already. If that is your scenario, then you'll kind of know this person feels like you are still on their mind a lot, but they might be in another connection where they feel like they shouldn't be thinking about you. They shouldn't be giving their time and attention and energy to you. So there's a little bit of guilt around this, and there's a little bit of like a sneaky energy present here. This person might maybe try to like check up on you on social media, or drive by your house or your work to try to see you. I'm kind of having that feeling like there's a little bit of deceit and sneakiness, and there's definitely the feeling that they shouldn't have you on their mind as much as they do. So if I look at the 7 of Swords energy a little bit differently, this can also be the energy of putting ourselves first. So this person might feel like there was something very fulfilling about what they had with you, and something that they aren't getting from a new situation that they're in, or from any situation that might come their way in the future. So this person might be having some regrets about potentially a separation or a disagreement that you've had with them, because there is this feeling of them wanting to put themselves first, and I feel like that energy is making them want to draw closer to you. It's kind of pulling them back towards you. There is quite a lot going on here, and there's some different messages coming through. When I look at this Queen of Materials, I get several different messages. I think that in some cases you are showing up as the Queen of Materials to this person. I think this person is acknowledging that you were very nurturing toward them, that you were very giving toward them, that they felt safe and comfortable and cared for in your presence. And this might be where some of that regret is coming in, or some of that Seven of Swords energy of like, I'm never going to find that anywhere else. And even if this isn't a romantic connection, this could be a friendship. This could be a family member that once you're not there anymore, it's like they're starting to realize just how much nurturing you were providing, or just how caring you were. And they can sort of feel that void. So I'm definitely seeing you coming through as the Queen of Materials in some cases. We had the Hierophant come up in reverse. So there's this feeling of wanting or wishing that they could break some sort of rule. And I feel like they know they need to stop thinking about you, but they can't stop thinking about you. So it's very weird energy. And for some of you, that rule may be that you are not, you're not in contact with this person, and they might feel like it's not a good idea for them to reach out to you. They might feel that they are not free to reach out to you. You may have told this person never to contact you again. You may have blocked them on social media, because there is this feeling of like they want to go against some rule that's been set in place, because they are thinking of you, because they are missing your presence in their life. Now, again, this can point to the fact that this person may be in another connection already, and maybe they feel like it's, you know, they're breaking some rules to even be giving you the mental energy that they are, to have you on their mind as much as you're kind of popping into their mind. Very interesting energy. I'm not judging this. If this person is in another connection, then, you know, it is what it is, but they are thinking about you. It feels a lot like there's a lot of guilt associated with thinking about you. I don't know if there was some kind of deception or betrayal within your connection, or if this energy of them wanting to go against something or go against someone in their life in order to be closer to you is more talking about what currently is going on in their life. But I get the feeling that there is some guilt and there's some sneakiness associated with thinking about you as much as they are. This is the kind of reading where I feel like there's more than two energies present, and that's probably why it's a little bit difficult to decipher what's going on. There's some kind of outside influence here. Some outside influence that had in the past or still has a say over this connection. So this person might be in a connection that is kind of dictating how they're able to communicate with you, or whether they're able to communicate with you or not. This can also, with the Queen of Materials, it's kind of making me think that this could be something to do with family matters. It could even be someone's mother that has kind of stepped in. And what this person is feeling like is like they want to break some rules. They want to go against what they've been advised to do, or what they've been pressured to do. And those are where their thoughts go when they're thinking about you. This could be about family. It can be about parents. It can be about siblings, friends, maybe children that this person has. This can even be people that you work with. If this is a connection that maybe you met this person at work and it wasn't appropriate for the two of you to be together, there is this feeling of wanting to break rules. This person may have left the job in order to make it easier for them to communicate with you in a romantic sense, if it wasn't appropriate, if it wasn't allowed in the workplace. But yeah, I'm definitely getting this feeling of like, I want to break some kind of rules. I want to reach out. Sneaky and guilt, like even just the thought of you is making this person feel a little guilty and like they shouldn't be thinking of you. So I wonder what that is about. I think when this person thinks about this connection, they are taking into account other situations in their life, maybe other people in their life, or it could be another romantic partner or family members or friends that didn't approve of the relationship. It just feels like when they think about you, they automatically consider or think about someone else or some other factor in connection with you. For some of you, yeah, I really, this is kind of murky energy to be swimming around in, but for some of you, this person might be married. They might be like wanting to get out of the connection that they're in. But yeah, for some of you, that really is coming through, that this person might be in a very serious partnership or in a marriage. If they have children with a previous partner, then I think that previous partner is still calling the shots. And this can be where they don't feel free to make their own decisions, where they feel guilty when they think about you, they feel guilty about moving towards you. That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up on. Still, yeah, this person still has a lot of control. They feel it every time they think about you. They feel it, because I think this person still has a lot of control over all the decisions that they're making. I think that any thoughts that they have about you, they really keep to themselves. All of this feels like it's very undercover. Like these aren't thoughts that they share openly. Now we are going to look at that in a minute. We're going to look at if this person shares or communicates their feelings about you to anyone else in their life. But I am feeling like a lot of this is very secretive. Even with the bottom of the deck energy with the moon, this Four of Voices in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse, a lot of this is very secretive. I feel like when they, they're keeping a lot of this private, but there's also kind of the sense that for some of you, the reason that this feels so secretive or so sneaky is because they almost feel like they're being really stupid or very delusional to still be having thoughts of you. So this could be that you have pushed this person away, you've told this person not to contact you, or they feel that they've messed up so badly that they should just put you out of their mind because it's never going to happen. But you keep popping into their mind, and it's like they try to shove those feelings down because they feel like they are absolutely just out of their mind for still putting energy into this, like for still thinking of you. And when they catch themselves thinking of you, they want to try to deceive themselves into believing that those feelings aren't there. But this does not work. Like this never works for them. So there's actually a lot of different scenarios here. And for some of you, several of those scenarios might be at play all at once. But this person, yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, it's just a matter of like trying to bury those feelings. They're trying to hide those feelings from themselves. And when these thoughts pop up, it's like they come out of the blue. They aren't purposely trying to think of you. It's just little things will remind them of you, or you will just randomly pop into their mind and they feel like, I am so delusional for thinking that this can happen. And they just try to shove those feelings back down. Looking at this bottom of the deck energy, again, I'm feeling like this could be a work connection for some of you, and that could be why this Hierophant is in reverse, why this connection is inappropriate, or why this person felt like they needed to sneak around to be with you or to think about you. Maybe you were sneaking around at work. Maybe this was a situation where nobody was supposed to find out that the two of you were together in the past. Again, yeah, I really feel like something is hidden here and that their feelings are being overshadowed by some other circumstance in their life. There's something else that's taking the front seat and it's kind of dictating, but the emotional feeling that they have towards you is this Nine of Cups energy, this Nine of Emotions. We also have the Nine of Materials. So this person has feelings of fulfillment when they think about you. I think if you were in a long-term connection or like some kind of romantic connection with this person, they felt very fulfilled when they were with you. And these are the things that they think about. Even if they're in a current situation now, as bad as it might sound, their mind always wanders back to how things were with you and how fulfilled they felt in the connection with you. So really interesting energy, really kind of throwing me for a loop right off the bat with reading one. Let's get some oracle cards and see what's going on here. I'm going to pull one from this deck, the Sacred Destiny deck, and see what's going on. We have flexibility. I feel like this person is trying to find their way out of some kind of tricky situation. And when they think of you, they're kind of reminded of this tricky scenario that's at play here. I'm going to pull another oracle card for you. I feel like there's something like they feel like they're in some kind of bondage around this connection, like their hands are tied, like there's something they can't do or something that they can't make sense out of. Oh, I wanted to pull you a moon card. Let me just get one of these and then we'll get one from the Moonology deck. So we have There's No Place Like Home. Let's see where I can fit this in. Exactly. That's that Nine of Cups, that Nine of Materials kind of vibe there. Let me get one more oracle. I really feel like this person, every time they think of you, they're reminded of like how little control they have, and they're trying to figure out how they can get a little bit more control over this situation. We have full moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So let's look at all of this. I'll move this down here and we'll just look at this because I think that really this person's trying to figure out how they can be adaptive is kind of how I want to say it. And this even could be the Seven of Swords energy. Like I was saying, the Seven of Swords, it can be a tricky kind of energy. It can be a deceitful energy. It can also be a strategic energy. And this flexibility card is kind of making me think about strategy. So this person might, when they think of you, they might be thinking of ways that they could make this work or ways that they can change this scenario. For some of you where this is kind of a sneaky energy, if this person contacts you with, which I feel like they might do, I feel like they might contact you in a really undercover way. And that could be for various reasons, but it could be because they are in another connection. It could be because this is a work scenario and it's not appropriate, or for some other reason it's not appropriate. But it's like they're trying to figure out different ways to make this possible. And I think for a lot of you, to make it possible again, so this is likely a connection that you were in before. I think you might get a message from this person out of the blue if they figure out how they can introduce this idea of flexibility and maybe of strategy into this connection. They might just out of the blue contact you. It's almost like they want to renegotiate terms with you. They want to figure out how to make this work. They want to figure out how you can be in contact. I think that they don't really like the feeling that every time they think of you, they feel like they have to push those feelings down. They feel like they have to keep them hidden. They're not really comfortable in that energy. And that's why I'm saying if they decide to reach out to you, it'll just come out of the blue, because it's just a feeling of them being uncomfortable in the current place that they're at. But you had this No Place Like Home card, and I feel like that was that energy, that Queen of Materials energy, that Nine of Cups energy, that Nine of Materials or Nine of Pentacles energy. When this person thinks about you, they're reminded of all of the wonderful things that you have done for them, all the ways that you've shown up for them, all the ways that you've been nurturing and caring toward them. And they really felt like they found home with you. So there is kind of a feeling with this reading that this person definitely wants to reach out. They want to be in contact because they're able to see so clearly what a vital role you played in their life and how much they miss that. I think they feel connected to you in a way that they don't feel connected to any other person, and in a way that they doubt that they will feel connected to any other person in the future. I will say that for some of you, and this is only for those of you where this message resonates, because as I was saying, a lot of different energies are coming through. But if this is someone that you know for a fact is in another connection, and if you're not wanting to give this person the time of day, it's like, you know, keep in mind that these intentions might not be pure, because they might have another commitment that they aren't willing to walk away from. So if you're going to hear from this person, the major thing to be hearing is that they want a real commitment with you, and not that they want to sneak around on the side, because there's definitely, like, that's possible with this energy here. It might be that they want to kind of have their cake and eat it too. And if you don't want to play the role of the person on the side, then you know, end that, like, cut that off right away. But we do have this full moon in Taurus card, so I feel like for the majority of you, if not all of you, I just feel like I have to, like, give that warning. But I feel like with that card, there's like a really hopeful energy here. Prosperity lies ahead. This means that this person might be coming with a solid offer if they reach out to you. Their thoughts definitely venture in that direction. They think about kind of an abundant time with you and an abundant future with you. They think about when times were good. Once everything faded away, it's like all that was left for them is just thinking about the good times that the two of you shared. Let's look at what's going on with this person. Like, if they are opening up and sharing these thoughts and feelings with anyone, or if they're kind of keeping this all to themselves. We did have a lot of secretive energy here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't speak up about this, but let's look and see. So we have the Four of Swords again, because we have the Four of Voices here in reverse. Yeah, that's kind of a quiet energy. That's the energy of someone who is not opening up, someone who's taking a step back, maybe reflecting, getting their thoughts in order regarding the situation. And we also have the Knight of Wands. Very opposing energy. I think the reason this energy is opposing like this is because this person is internally conflicted about this relationship. I think on one hand they want to lay low, and on the other hand they want to reach out to you. And this Knight of Wands energy is that energy of, like, they're going to come out of the blue with a message to you, and it might be quite surprising. Like, maybe you weren't even sure that this person had these deep feelings. Maybe they haven't been very open. I mean, with the energy that I'm seeing here of the moon, they might not be very open about how they feel, but if they do reach out, it seems like they're going to really surprise you. This also feels like the energy of, like, they have not shared this with anyone yet. If they are going to share with someone about how they're feeling about you, I think they'll be very thoughtful about it. I think that there's a good chance that they have not opened up about it. They'll take their time to really think about it first. I think that they may have tried to hold on to this, or they may be really trying to hold on to this and to deal with all of this on their own. But eventually they might share this with someone. With this Knight of Wands energy, it's very impulsive energy. So it could be that they blurt something out when they didn't really mean to. Something just slips out. They remember something funny you said or a fun time you spent together, and something slips out to their friend or something. This can also be them blurting something out to you. So it might be that this person does not share about this connection in their personal life, in their other connections, but they will share with you eventually. And when they do, it will be quite impulsive. It will be, it's the energy of they thought a lot about this, but when they actually reach out to contact you, they won't have thought about it a lot in that moment. It will be one of those scenarios where they pick up the phone and send the message or make the call before they really thought about it. Because it will just be on impulse. It will be because they're missing you so much or they're reminiscing so much, they just instinctively reach out to you. I feel like they'll take action before they have a chance to stop themselves, because a lot of this energy is like they're stopping themselves. They're shoving this down. They're shoving even thoughts about you down. But when they do reach out to you, they won't have the opportunity to think that much about it, and they won't have the opportunity to stop themselves. I get the feeling that you're on the tip of their tongue a lot, and that it's kind of hard for them to not bring you up because they're thinking about you all the time. So really interesting energy, number one. Leave me a comment down below if you know what situation this person is in. I'm getting another romantic connection. I'm getting maybe a mother that is butting into this connection. There's something going on here, and I would love to know what it is. Maybe a little sneaky office or work romance, something like that. But yeah, definitely let me know down below what this is. This person is thinking about you, but they feel guilty every single time they do, or they feel uncomfortable every time they do. They feel like they might be delusional. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. That's all the messages I see for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you like this reading, don't forget to like it, leave me that comment, and subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you in another reading really soon. Bye! Hi, number 2. If you picked the purple flower, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if the person on your mind is still thinking about you. So let's hop right into your tarot and see if you are on this person's mind. Like I mentioned in the intro, if you're curious about more than one person, definitely check out more than one group to see if you can get messages about whoever you are wondering about, whoever you might be curious if they're thinking about you or not. So let's see. We have the Two of Inspiration, Two of Wands energy. I'm going to move this off to the side. The Star coming out. Oh, another card just flew out. What do we have? We have the Two of Materials in reverse. Let's try to move these up. I think I'm going to be pulling a lot of cards here. So, let's see. We'll get a few more. Four of Emotions, Four of Cups. Oh. And the Nine of Inspiration. Let's look at what we've got going on the bottom of the deck. We've got the Lovers. Oh, God. The Page of Emotion, the Page of Material, and the Tower. I had to keep pulling from the bottom of the deck because, yeah, it was a lot. I just wanted to see. So we got 4, so that's cool. Yeah, this person still thinks about you. There's literally no doubt in my mind about that looking at this. If you look at these first cards that came out, I was trying not to speak too soon, but the second I saw the Two of Inspiration, I'm like, yeah, this person thinks about you. And then the Star comes out. If you look at these cards together, the Two of Inspiration shows someone here like with a telescope, and they're looking toward something, and what that something is in this scenario is the Star. So this is actually representative of what's going on here exactly. Your person is in this Two of Wands, Two of Inspiration energy, and they have their sights set directly on you, the Star. You're in their thoughts a lot, actually. In in their eyes, you are the star. It's like you're the star of the show. You're the main attraction. You're kind of a big deal. So it's almost like they are putting you on a pedestal. Which I think is maybe creating a little bit of a complicated situation in their mind. We'll kind of get into that. But as I'm looking at this, yeah, I do think they have you kind of on a pedestal, and it might be a little difficult for them. Because it feels like, basically, the best way I can put this is actually the cards. The cards are a perfect illustration of this. Look how small this person is, how they're depicted so small in this card, and how large the person is in the star card. This is how they see themselves in comparison to you. They see themselves small in comparison to you. They feel like they pale in comparison to you. They are literally all over your social media. This is the vibe that I get, because this person is definitely looking from afar. They're not only thinking about you, they are looking. I'm not trying to like creep you out. This isn't stalker vibes. This is just they're a little bit apprehensive, and they are looking from afar to see what's going on. And I feel like if you're the type of person that doesn't really post a lot online, it's sort of driving them nuts. And I also think that they are probably the type of person that doesn't comment on anything or like any of your photos, because there's this real feeling that they want to kind of stay in the shadows. They want to stay in the background. They don't really want you to know that they are thinking about you. Yeah. It's funny because a similar energy came through for pile 1, but like not like this at all. Like, I was talking about potentially somebody's blocked on social media, and I'm kind of getting that same impression here, that you may have blocked this person on social media, so they might have to kind of go through other channels in order to see anything that you post. If you are the type of person that posts on social, like, they might have to use their friend's page or something to look at your pictures, or they maybe like created a fake account or something to be able to look at your pictures. Because there's kind of this feeling of like, I'm looking, but I'm going to stay hidden. I'm going to stay in the shadows. The issue that I see with this is they're just constantly checking to see if anything's changed, but they're not really taking any action. But you're on this person's mind a lot. Like, this is a really clear message. I feel like the message wasn't quite this clear for the first group, but this is totally clear. It's like, if I had to just answer your question, do they think about you? Yes, absolutely. They think about you. The problem is that they've kind of blown this whole thing out of proportion, and it feels like they don't really think that you're interested in having any kind of connection with them anymore. And they're looking for signs constantly that you might have moved on, because that's kind of the thing that's scaring them the most, is the idea that you might have moved on from them, and that you wouldn't be interested in them anymore, or you're not interested in, like, even if this isn't romantic, like, they think, oh, they don't want to be my friend anymore, or they don't want to speak to me anymore, and like, they're living their life, they've moved on, they're happy without me, is kind of the feeling I'm getting. It's really clear to me that their thoughts are a mess when it comes to this. Their brain feels very disorganized and chaotic when they think about you. So there might have been a lot of confusion. Maybe they're confused about what happened in this connection. Maybe they're confused about something that you said. They could even be confused about actions that they took. They don't really know why they acted the way that they did, but I feel like when they try to think about this, they can't make sense of anything. They can't land on a solid plan. They can't figure out what to do about it. They just kind of go back and forth. They think that one plan is the way to go one day, and then the next day it's changed. They're all over the place with this. It feels like their life got really out of balance at some point. So this might be what happened to bring separation into this connection. It kind of feels like they put too much attention in the wrong places, or this is what they're starting to see or realize in this time, that that they're just in this place of only being able to think about you, but not being able to talk to you about it. It feels like they're looking back on what took place and they're going, I invested too much of my time and attention into these other things that don't matter as much to me. That really might be why there's distance between the two of you right now. So they're looking at where they chose to invest their time and their energy, and they're not happy with it anymore. They aren't satisfied with what they chose to keep in their life versus what they let slip out of their life, if that makes any sense. They're kind of like, they're kind of dissatisfied with like I'm thinking of, for some reason, like the pile of rocks that they're left with, which is a very odd analogy, but let's say that, you know, this person had like a pile of red rocks and a pile of blue rocks, and they only spent their time, you know, paying attention to the blue rocks, and eventually the red rocks, like maybe someone else took them, or, you know, something else happened. They didn't pay enough attention to them, and now they're kind of looking at their pile of blue rocks like, well, I would sure like to have some red rocks. I feel like that's how this person feels about you when they think about you. They're kind of like, I invested all this time and energy into things that aren't fulfilling me anymore, things that aren't satisfying to me anymore, and that was a huge mistake. I think that there's a feeling that they feel like they're kind of trapped by their past decisions, is how this is coming through. And I get the feeling that this person thinks a lot about how they can get you back into their life. It feels like they get so twisted up in their head that they can't find a good solution. And they kind of feel like they need to establish some boundaries in their life. So how this is coming through, I'll give you a couple of examples because it might not fit your scenario exactly, but it might be similar to this. This could be somebody who was like always working. They were so dedicated to their job that they did not spend enough time nurturing this relationship. And once this relationship was out of their grasp, they are finding themselves going, you know what? I'm not going to be satisfied with just the job. I should have created more balance in my life. I should have given some of my attention to these other very important aspects of my life, or these important people that are in my life. I should have been in that place, because now I'm left with only the thing that I devoted my time to, and it's not enough. This can also be about other relationships. Maybe this was someone who prioritized other relationships in their life over the relationship that they had with you. They could have prioritized like a connection with a family member or something, and kind of left you out in the dust, out in the wind. Like, and when you finally were like, I don't want to put up with this, like either you're going to make me a priority or I'm out of here. Now they're like, you know what? I'm not satisfied with only having that connection. So that's kind of how it's reading. It might be something different, but it does feel like this person put a lot of time and energy into something that now they're seeing just doesn't pay. It could be as simple as like, it could be silly. It could literally be like video games or something. Like they devoted all their time to something that was silly until they lost you. And now they see they're not satisfied spending their time doing the thing that they were doing before, or spending time with the people that they were spending time with before. They miss you. They miss you in their life. So with this Nine of Inspiration kind of showing up, this card can talk about establishing firm boundaries. So this might be that this person needs to put some boundaries in place with the people that are in their life. If they overstepped in some way that ruined this connection, they might need to put boundaries in place around their work. If they are a total workaholic and they don't know when to call it a day, they might be working on putting boundaries in place around that, so that they're not bringing their work home all the time, so that they're not constantly glued to their phone or to their computer. There's kind of some reflection here, but I feel like although this person is reflecting, they're still very confused. They're still in their heads about it, and like not exactly sure what course of action to take. When we look at this bottom of the deck energy, this person loves you. Like, I don't know how else to put it. This person really loves you. And when they think about you, they think about how much they love you. They think about how much they wish you were still in their life. It does look to me like they Like they must have done something that ruined this connection. Of course, this energy could be flip-flopped, but it's coming through to me that there's a lot of regret here, and that they have the feeling that they messed up and that they lost everything. Like they almost had it all and they lost everything. Yeah, the Lovers, the Page of Emotions, the Page of Materials. It does feel like they almost had it. It was like they had it within their grasp and they lost it. Then we have the Tower here. The Tower can represent circumstances that are outside of our control. So they might feel like or have felt like they didn't have a lot of choice when it came to this connection or the way that this connection ended. I think now they're starting to see that they had more choices than they felt like they did at the time with this Four of Emotions here. They had a choice and they maybe ignored some of the options that were available to them. Maybe some of the ways they could have made this work, some of the ways they could have brought more balance to the situation. They ignored those things and they kind of charged ahead. And now they're seeing that was the moment at which this Tower kind of activated. Some of these choices that they made triggered this Tower moment in them. There's definitely a deep emotional connection here. The Lovers of the Page of Emotions. Definitely a deep emotional connection. Definitely a lot of love here. There's still a lot of love present here. So if this is a connection where you're wondering if there's any ill will, if there's any bad feelings on the other side of things, I would say no. I think this person loves you. And they miss you a lot. So let's pull some oracle cards and see if we can get more clarity on this. Okay, we have protection. Yeah, there's a real guarded feeling present for this person. I feel like this is why they're in this Two of Inspiration energy of kind of holding back, waiting, looking, watching from the outside, watching from the sidelines, because there's this feeling that they really want to keep their heart guarded here. And, you know, looking at this, I can see why, because like I was saying, the emotional connection here is very, very deep. So they've got their heart kind of out there in the open. When I look at this Page of Emotions, you see this heart, it's like a cutout. So imagine that this whole, all this clothing was like a protective shield. It was a protective barrier. I mean, it is. This part is cut out. So it just feels like this person's heart is so exposed because of the depth of feeling that they have for you. It's so exposed that there's some fear here that if they reach out, because it feels like you might not be interested in them anymore. You may have moved on. This Four of Emotions. It's like if they make you an offer, they're like thinking you're not going to be interested in taking it. You're not going to be receptive to this offer. So yeah, they have like a protective shield up around this whole connection. They're trying to protect themselves. They don't want to face rejection from you. Let's see what else the oracle cards can show us about what's going on here. Whoa. Okay, we had a few cards flip out, so let's take all of these. So we have the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Yeah, this person's your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. A lot of full moon energy here. And South Node, don't let your past hold you back. You know what I was going to take one of these cards and three came out, and I'm glad they did, because it really shows me that this person is very fearful that that they're not good enough for you, and that they messed things up so badly that they can never get you back. they have placed you on a pedestal. They have, they've almost placed you in this area that feels out of reach to them. They just don't think you're going to be very receptive to them, and they know what they lost. They know that they want you in their life. Yeah, I think they feel like getting you back would be impossible. And that a lot of these scattered thoughts that they're having, like we were talking about, it looks like their mind is a mess. They can't decide which way to go. With this, your dreams need a practical plan. They need to sort through all of this. They need to, they're starting to realize, I think, that these scattered thoughts are not getting them anywhere. It's not a clear path. They have to kind of decide what they want to do about this. It almost feels like, I'm going to butcher this, you guys, so please forgive me, but there's like, isn't there a Chinese proverb or something about if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch none? That's what it feels like is going on here. Like their brain is so scattered and their thoughts are so disjointed that one minute they want to take one action, the next minute they want to take the other action. And while they're in this place of indecisiveness about how to handle this, they aren't really making any progress towards you. They can't chase the 2 rabbits at the same time. They need to figure out how to channel this energy in a direction that makes sense and in a direction that will make progress, because just dreaming about this working out for them isn't really working. Like, it's not fixing anything. I think this person would really rather you make a move toward them, because then they won't have to guess about whether or not you'll want to communicate with them, which is a little bit of a cop-out, especially if they are at fault. Like if it was something that they did that caused the 2 of you to not be in communication now, then it is a little bit of a cop-out. And I think they know that, but still they're like, hey, if this person would just call me, then it would be a whole lot easier, because I would realize that they're interested and I wouldn't have to worry that they're going to reject me. The don't let the past hold you back South Node card, I'm actually getting a message for both of you. So this could be a message for one of you or for both of you. I didn't realize those were so low. Sorry, guys. For them, I think that they're struggling to get past mistakes that they may have made. And they may be struggling about the time when it felt like you pushed them away. So if you really pushed them away, they're like hung up on that fact. They're hung up on the fact that you don't want anything to do with them. They just keep replaying what happened, and they're kind of letting the past scare them into not doing anything about it. So that might be the case. I feel like if this message is for you, and it really could be for both of you, I think that it's telling you to not really let what happened in the past, or the way this person behaved in the past, you don't necessarily have to let that dictate how things will go in the future. So maybe allowing yourself to form a new opinion of this person is called for here. But of course, you have to use your own judgment here, because you don't want to repeat the same patterns with them. So if this was something that was unforgivable, or if there's certain things that you need to see in order to feel trusting in this, or in order to want to communicate with them again, definitely make sure all those needs are being met. But this could be a message that's like, you know, this person has done some work and they have changed. So don't necessarily hold them to those past actions forever. Let's get another oracle card for you. Let's see what's going on with this person. We know they're thinking about you, so maybe what else is on their mind, or what are they working on? Oh, dropped it. Okay. So we have clean it up. Yeah, I mean, they need to. That's kind of obvious, because like we were talking about, like their thoughts are all over the place. So I do think this person is trying to do some work, trying to clean some things up, trying to make things right. And I think that for them, it really starts with taking responsibility for what has happened, along with figuring out a definite plan of action if they want to be in communication with you again. And you know, they do. Like, they do. this energy is really a loving energy, and I think that their intentions are pure. Their heart is pure when it comes to this connection. So I'm going to pull a couple more tarot cards. There's one already. Because I'm curious to know if this person shares their thoughts and their feelings about this connection with anyone in their life, or if they're kind of holding this all in. So we had the Ace of Cups come out, and I'm going to pull another. Okay, is this person opening up to anyone? Are they sharing their thoughts about this connection with anyone in their life? We have the Three of Coins in reverse. What this is telling me is that this person wants to open up about what's going on in this connection and how they're feeling. But the issue I think here is that if they were to open up and talk about this, it would be deeply emotional. And they do tend to be guarded. We have this protective energy. They want to kind of like guard their heart and hide all of that. So this isn't someone who's likely to share these feelings with friends or family unless they feel like this person can really relate to them, can understand exactly where they're coming from. For the most part, I get the feeling that they don't feel like anyone would understand with this Three of Coins in reverse. They don't really feel like anyone would get them. Like no one else would see their point of view, or like they doubt that they'd be able to communicate all of this emotion clearly enough to make someone understand. So I would say that if this person does have someone in their life that they're very close to, someone that they can open up to emotionally, they might share with that person. Yeah. I feel like this has to be the kind of friend or family member that it almost feels like they can read each other's minds, because your person doesn't really feel like they're going to be understood. So it's almost like they want to be understood without having to find the right words, if that makes sense. So someone who is very intuitive, who knows them very well, and who would be able to just pick up on all of this, they'll have the conversation, or they'll have the, whatever you want to call it, where like one person's not really talking, because I feel like that's what they want to do. They don't really want to talk about it, but if someone gets it, they pick up on it, they're willing to connect with them over that. But they feel like they're in kind of a unique situation here for whatever reason. And that might just be kind of in their head. They feel like they screwed up in a way that maybe no one else ever has. And that's probably not true, but that's just kind of the heaviness of it. They just feel like nobody's going to get it. Nobody will know why I made these choices or understand where I'm coming from, and I just kind of want to like hold it in. And I think it's more because it's so emotional. It feels almost like if you turn that faucet on, the water is going to spray out everywhere. So they will be careful, and they'll be strategic about who they open up to about this, because it might be a little uncomfortable for them to open up in such an emotional way. So yeah, I think that's all the messages I see for you. This person definitely has a lot of love for you still, and they are still thinking about you. If you liked this reading, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it, and I will hopefully see you again in another reading really soon. Bye! Hi, number 3, if you picked the light yellow flower, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if the person on your mind is still thinking about you. So let's jump right into your tarot and see what's going on here. See if you are still on this person's mind. What are they still thinking about, number 3? Number 3 is still on this person's mind. We have the Nine of Voices in reverse, Nine of Swords energy. It's pretty heavy energy to start the reading with. Two of Materials in reverse came out in the last reading, I think in number 2. Same thing, and I think it was in reverse as well. So might be worth checking out that reading. Could provide more clarity. We'll kind of see what happens here. The Ace of Emotions in reverse. Get 2 more. Emperor. And Justice. Okay. Let me move these cards up a little bit, and I'm going to look and see what we've got going on the bottom of the deck for you. So let's see. Bottom of the deck energy, we have Awakening, which is the Judgment card in traditional tarot. We have the Muse of Materials, the King of Materials. And we have the Four of Voices. Okay, there are some repeating themes. I feel like that Four of Voices came out in one of the other readings. Honestly, I would say is this person thinking of you? Not if they can help it. That's how I would put it. Not if they can help it. They try not to think about you is kind of what I'm seeing here. When they think about you, there's an incredible amount of stress that comes along with any thoughts having to do with this connection. So I do get the feeling that this person tries not to think about you very often, because we're opening this up with this Nine of Voices energy, and it's like, this is the energy of really restless, sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of worry. And it just feels like that's too much for this person. I'm also noticing that with this Ace of Emotion coming out in reverse, also the Two of Materials, but I want to focus on the Ace of Emotion just for a second. I feel like this person's emotions when it comes to this connection are repressed. They're turned off. The Ace is in reverse. They've turned off their emotions as much as they can when it comes to this connection. They feel almost powerless in this, and they feel like they want to get their power back with this Emperor here. They want to be in that Emperor energy. So I'm having the feeling that something happened in this connection that they just felt like they couldn't handle it. They couldn't juggle it. Maybe there's like, if there was a lot of stress and tension and arguing and disagreements or something, it's like that got the best of them. And I am feeling like this is someone who might have a lot of responsibilities. They have a lot of pressure on them. They have a lot of weight on their shoulders. And with this Two of Materials in reverse, I'm kind of reading it two different ways, but at the same time, I feel like for a lot of you, both might be true. It feels like they weren't able to juggle it all in this connection when the two of you were in communication. Like they weren't able to juggle it all. And then also like any thoughts of you kind of throw them back into this place of feeling like they can't deal with their day-to-day. Like they can't take care of their responsibilities and feel all of this emotion at the same time. It's too much for them. It's overwhelming for them. And it's honestly a feeling that it's like they're not familiar with this feeling. They are familiar with this very powerful, they're familiar with being in charge. They're familiar with calling the shots. They're familiar with having it their way. This Emperor energy really giving me like a lot of Aries vibes. This person might be an Aries. They could be a Leo or a Sagittarius. I guess I get more Leo from this than Sagittarius, but they really might be a fire sign or have strong fire placements. But it just feels like this person is so used to having things go the way that they want them to go. So used to having things go in a way that they feel that they can control. And something happened here that made them feel like they couldn't control the situation. So even thinking about you kind of throws them back into this place. I think especially if this person felt overwhelmed to the point that they couldn't like think straight, like maybe they weren't sleeping and they were underperforming at work, or they can't focus when they're in school or whatever it might be. this is why they had to kind of cut this off, because they're overwhelmed. And by cut this off, this could mean that they were the ones who ended this connection or stepped away from this connection, but it could also mean that they have to cut off any thoughts of you because it becomes too overwhelming for them, and they don't feel like they can do their best at the other things they have going on in their life. They don't feel like they can give their all because it's just like too much. There's something here too, like that reads as they feel like something wasn't fair in this connection. So maybe they feel like they were wrongly judged or they were wrongly accused of something. It could be that they might have felt like either you weren't putting in enough to this relationship or like they weren't. It almost doesn't matter in this case. I feel like even if this was a mistake that this person made, it still is coming through to them as something that's so stressful that they can't deal with it. Even if it's that they can look at the scenario and they can think, I didn't put in the work, I didn't communicate, I didn't do what I was supposed to. They still feel so stressed and overwhelmed by that reality that they just want to like just step away. This is it's actually really interesting because I'm wondering, like, were they at fault here because they feel like more fairness needed to be brought in, whether that was a mistake on their end or not. They just feel like it wasn't fair. I think what it might be is that they feel like neither one of you were getting what you wanted or what you deserved out of this connection, and that's what wasn't so fair about it. I think what this person wants most of all is to feel like they're in control of themselves. And this connection made them feel like that wasn't the case. It made them feel out of control. They felt like they couldn't control the outcome. They felt like they couldn't keep their emotions in check. And that made them really uncomfortable. So I see them making the decision to take whatever amount of energy they were funneling into this connection, as little as it might have been in some cases. It's like they're going to take that energy and now they're funneling it into themselves. With this Emperor energy, they're trying to put their focus in other areas, and probably in areas that they feel like they might be able to better themselves, or where they feel like they're more in control. Like if this person is really great at work, they're just going to focus at just doing the best they can at work, because at work it's clear. At work they can understand what's going on. They can receive praise. They can, maybe if they're in a leadership position, they can just sort of bask in that. I feel like this is somebody who does not want to come out of their comfort zone, because I think they're comfortable in that place of calling the shots. They're comfortable in that place of dictating how things will go. And when they can't do that, they'll kind of redirect. They will they'll put their attention in places where that can be true, because they're not comfortable in any other scenario. There's actually a really selfish energy coming from this person. I'm not going to lie about that. They have a selfish side to them. I think we all do to a certain extent. And sometimes we have to be selfish because we have to protect ourselves and we have to provide for ourselves. We have to make sure we're okay. But it feels like when this person gets in a scenario where it's like things around them are going crazy, things around them are in flux, they're confusing, this person goes heavily into self-preservation mode, and that's where they're at right now. They are in full-blown self-preservation mode, and what that means is that they are trying really hard not to think about you. In some cases, that might mean that they have successfully pushed you out of their mind. In other cases, I don't think so. I think that no matter what, even if they have successfully pushed you out of their mind, I feel like a lot of the actions that they're taking in their life is due to the fact that they're trying not to think about you. So, in a roundabout way, I would say they are still thinking about you, because they're letting their thoughts of you or this scenario dictate what choices they're making, but in their mind, they're not. In their mind, they are in full control of the situation, and they are like focused on other stuff and not thinking about you at all. But I feel like that's not completely true. I feel like there's a little bit of a twist to that. There's something about this connection is dictating the choices that they're making. This could be a healthy thing for them to do in some cases, and in other cases, this is just them bearing their feelings instead of dealing with them. So I really am seeing with this Muse of Materials, this is King of Materials energy. They are focused on work. They're focused on whatever responsibilities they have right now. Maybe they have a family to take care of. They might have children or parents that they care for or something like that. I do get a parental kind of energy from the King of Pentacles, so they might have children. But when you pop into this person's mind, they do their best to just shove that thought aside and to make themselves busy with something else, and almost a feeling of like to make something of themselves. They want to work. They want to get something accomplished and not think about this. What I'm seeing is that I feel like this is going to catch up with this person with the Judgment and the Four of Voices. This is going to catch up with them, and they're going to have to take time to reflect. If they haven't already come into this energy of taking time to reflect, they're going to have to, because eventually this does kind of like chase us down and force us to stare it in the face. So I feel like as much as they're trying to distract themselves, there will come a time when this person has to take a step back and hold themselves accountable for some things. And that could be hold themselves accountable for trying to suppress emotions that are there and that need to be expressed, that need to be communicated, that need to be dealt with. Yeah, I feel like there's unfinished business here in this connection, and you may know it. I feel like they may not know it. That's kind of the vibe I get. Like deep down they know, but there's a part of them that's in a deep denial when it comes to what they still need to deal with. And I do think that's going to catch up to them. Let's look at some oracle cards and see what else. They've already kind of thrown me for a loop here because it's odd. Like, it's really odd energy, but I think it's all because they're just trying to not deal with it. They just don't want to deal with it. So we have change, and we have another card flip. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Empower. Yeah. This is why they don't want to think about you. This is why they don't want to think about you. This is so funny because I was only going to take one card and two cards flipped. And usually when that happens, it's like, oh, I totally get it. They don't want to think about you because of this feeling. They want to be the emperor. They want to be in control. They want a change in power, basically. They want to rearrange the power structure in this relationship because they felt like they gave too much of their power away to you. They want to get back to the emperor. They want to be the one calling the shots. They want their power back. So they're trying to take their power back. And the reason this is coming up, I mean, this is what we asked. This is the question we asked. But yeah, it's interesting energy because what we asked was, are they thinking about you? And it's like, I'm getting this vibe of like they try not to, which isn't really a clear do they or do they not kind of answer. But I think what's happening is they really, really don't want to. They really don't want to because they feel out of control when they do it. They want to get that power back. They want to be in control so badly. I feel like in a lot of ways you might kind of drive this person crazy. Because they end up playing a role they're not comfortable with, and I think that's just because they're not that comfortable with emotion a lot of the time. Let's look at some of these Moonology cards. We'll see what shows up for you. Oop. Whoa, okay. We have the balsamic moon, a time for healing. Yeah. Right next to that Four of Swords. That's a good place for that card to go. Let me pull an oracle card from this last deck. I just feel like this person is in some form of denial, and like it's gonna catch up with them. They have to heal this. They have to deal with this. Whoa, okay. I dropped a whole bunch of cards on the floor. Hold on one second. Let's just get one, please. Okay, we have number 45, time to go. Yeah, let's move these down. So we have time for healing and time to go. Time may be some factor in this relationship, bad timing or something like that. They felt like it was time for them to step away, even to distance themselves from you, in terms of thoughts, even like to that level. It feels almost like too much of a risk to even send energy in the form of thought in your direction. So yeah, there's denial here. Or they're trapped by some kind of circumstances that they can't control, and this is their way of feeling like they still have a little bit of control left. Because that's not really healing, to just try to push everything away or down, or it's a cover-up operation. And these fears are definitely eventually going to resurface, and that's sort of what I was seeing with this Four of Voices. There will be a time to slow down, to rest, and to reflect on what's going on. But I feel like they're not making time for that right now. They haven't done that yet. But there needs to be real healing here, and that's not what that's not what they've been doing. They're hiding. They're not healing. That's what I'll say about that. So let's look and see if this person is opening up to anyone else in their life about this connection. Are they sharing anything about how they feel? Seems highly unlikely, that Ace of Emotion in reverse, but are they? Let's see. We have the World, and let's pull another. Do they open up and share their thoughts and feelings about this with anyone in their life? Oh, 2 cards. Okay, we'll take both. We have the we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Chalices, the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So 2 knights. No. This person is not sharing anything with anyone. I feel like this is just not how they are. They want to speed things along and just kind of keep it moving. They want to get on with a new phase with this World card. It's like they want to just be on to the next thing. They want to move on to the next phase in their life without having to come forward about these feelings. They have bottled up these emotions, and they've bottled up even their more passionate feelings. We have the chalices and the wands. So we have cups and wands here. Passionate feelings, emotional feelings, and both of these knights are in reverse. So this is not them coming forward with any of this information. So if you haven't heard from this person, there's no surprise here, because they're not even talking to anybody about how they feel about this right now. So yeah, I do think that there will come a time for this person to reflect. And at that point, you might even see some movement in this connection if you're open to it. But they have to do that reflection first, because as it stands right now, they want the power. They want to be in control. And they can't always be in control, especially of their emotions, because we are not always in control of our emotions. When we feel a certain way, we feel that way, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it. And I think this is somebody that when those emotions come up, instead of giving into it, instead of going, okay, I feel this way and I feel like this for a reason, I have to act on this, they have chosen to run. They choose to run from it. So what I like about this, if you are interested in this person like being okay, because maybe you're not feeling like you really care that much right now, which, you know, it could be understandable depending on what happened in this connection. But what I like about this is the awakening card, the Judgment, and the Four of Voices, I think is going to be this person's ally eventually. And the fact that it even showed up here might mean that that's happening sooner than you'd think. And this is a time for them to self-reflect. This is a time for them to hold themselves accountable, to meditate on what has happened, to think, and to see things, to emerge from that, seeing things the way that they really are, the truth of the matter. But I feel almost like we caught this person at a time when they haven't really like started this process. They are still heavily in the process of trying to cover up the feelings that they have. And they're just throwing themselves into work or into other tasks, responsibilities, maybe throwing themselves into their role as a parent just to cover this up. But is there love here? Are there emotions here? Absolutely. Or this Ace of Emotions wouldn't have come out right in the center of your initial spread. So yeah, there's absolutely emotion there. That's the problem in this person's eyes. That's the problem. That's what makes them feel like they can't control what's happening. So yeah, interesting, you guys. Interesting reading. Yeah. If you can kind of relate to what's going on here, or like you could fill in some of these gaps, definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know about that. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, so that you'll be notified when I post again and you can come and hang out with me again. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna just leave it there. I will see you hopefully again in another reading really soon. Bye. Hi, number 4. If you picked the red flower, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if the person on your mind is still thinking about you. So let's jump right into tarot and see what we can find out. We will see if you are on this person's mind. Like I was saying in the intro, if you are curious about more than one person, you might want to choose a different pile for any person that you're curious to know if they're still thinking about you or not. You might get some messages about multiple people in your life if you do have questions. Ooh, we've got a card on the floor already. Let's see what it is. Okay, we have the Muse of Inspiration. So this is the King of Wands. Really strong energy right out of the gate. Let's see what else. The Knight of Voices. The Hanged Muse, so that's the Hanged Man in traditional tarot. And I'm going to take one more. We have the Muse of Emotion. So another, this is the Knight, the King of Cups, sorry. So 2 kings coming out. Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck and see what we have going on. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Materials, Ace of Pentacles. We have the Death card, and take one more. We have the Four of Inspiration. Wow. This person definitely still thinks about you. I would venture to say this is kind of strange, because I did have a message like this, like similar to this. I think pile 2 was kind of similar to this same vibe, but there's a difference here. I would venture to say that this person has you on their mind most days, if not every day. There's a lot of strong energy coming through with the King of Wands and the King of Cups. This person has a lot of very mature emotional energy towards you, and a lot of very mature, passionate energy towards you. I think that if this is a romantic connection, this person has a lot of like passionate thoughts about you. There's also a lot of really loving thoughts and very caring thoughts, but there's some fire here. There's some passion here. If this isn't a romantic connection, this is a connection that someone feels like this person feels very passionate about this connection. Like they're very invested in this connection. You mean a lot to them. This whole relationship holds a lot of importance in their life, is how this is coming through with both of these kings showing up. This connection may have been at a standstill for a while, with the Hanged Man showing up here, because it looks like they've had a lot of time to process and to understand their own feelings. And I think that's why we're getting this king energy, kind of book ending. I feel like both of these king cards are like providing like bookends to this little story that's laying out here, and I just feel like this is really evolved, this is mature energy. So if this connection has been at a standstill or has been in a place of no communication for a long time, in the process of that, this person is stepping into king energy toward this. Their thoughts are very mature, very evolved, and they've taken time to think. They've taken time to figure out how they feel. I feel like this person is bursting at the seams to tell you something. These readings are a little bit weird because, their future actions might not be something that's clear when we ask the question, are you still in their mind? But with this Knight of Swords energy coming through, I feel like this person wants to communicate something to you so badly. And when I look at what it might be, it's definitely communications about emotion, communications about passionate feelings. So there might be like a lot of depth. This could be someone who did not feel like they had the chance to tell you how much you mean to them, to tell you that that they love you, because it feels like that could be the message that wants to come through. I think there might be several things that they want to tell you, but definitely if they did not speak up and say what they needed to say when they needed to say it, there's this sort of impatient, anxious energy about like wanting to express that to you. I think that they are still holding themselves back for some reason. It's a little bit difficult to decipher whether this is past energy or present energy in this connection with the Hanged Man here. They have held themselves back. So what I see here is that this person may have held themselves back while they were kind of growing and evolving into this mature energy of the King of Wands and the King of Cups. Maybe they took that time to figure everything out. This energy of being held back could still be present in this connection, though. There might be a reason why they are holding themselves back from saying these things to you. But if I'm being honest, I feel like they are holding on by a thread. That they want to say whatever this is to you so badly, they are holding on by a thread. As I say that, I look at this Hanged Muse card, and it's like, look at this little, I don't know what it is, a string, a wire that's holding this person in this like upside down position. It's not even solid. It's a dotted line. It is very thin, very fragile. It could snap at any moment. And I feel like there's a lot of that kind of energy here. If this person still wishes to keep their feelings to themselves, it's like that very well might not happen, because that thread that's holding them back is about to snap. The Knight of Voices energy, it's air energy, it's very fast moving. this is a knight that rushes forward. This is a knight that wants to communicate, that has a message to deliver, and by God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna get there. It's gonna happen real fast. So although there is this very mature energy, there's also sort of this this fast moving energy, sort of. I don't really want to use the word impatient because I don't feel like it fully fits, but I'm having a hard time coming up with how I want to say this. So there's just the energy of them rushing forward. Things could happen fast. Communication could come through really fast. And it just seems like that's highly likely. I think that the thoughts that this person is having about you are thoughts that they want to express to you. And it's difficult for them to not do that. They might be waiting for the perfect time. That could be what's holding them back. There might be a particular time they're going to see you, sometime that feels more appropriate. They might be waiting for some circumstance to clear up, to clear away, to move out of their way before they tell you this. But they're like right on the edge of telling you. It's hard for them to not communicate this to you. I feel like there might also be a feeling that they're a little bit afraid to bombard you with so much new information and so many new feelings that they don't really know if you're going to be receptive to. That's kind of being highlighted to me because this energy of the King of Wands and the King of Cups is such mature energy that if this person feels like this, like these feelings might come out of nowhere, like you might be like, whoa, how'd you get there? Like it kind of just depends on where you are in this connection, but it could be that they feel like these feelings came on really fast, or like these feelings are in complete opposition to what they may have acted like or communicated to you before, and now they want to come through with like really serious levels of commitment and of desire that they want to express to you. And it's like they're kind of afraid because you know what this thread is feeling like to me now? This thread is feeling like once I start saying this stuff, I'm just going to say it all. It's all coming out. Like, especially with the Knight of Voices too. It's all going to just pour out. So there is a little bit, I feel like there might be hesitation because it's like, once I tell this person how I feel, I'm going to tell this person how I feel. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to really lay it on and like, I'm going to put it all out there, and they might not be ready for all of that. That's kind of how this is coming through. I think they've given this so much thought though. I feel like for one reason or another, this person wants to communicate with you. And in some cases that might be merely to clear the air. Maybe there's no chance of working things out. Maybe you're not even interested, but I think that this person wants to clear the air and get on speaking terms, get on friendly terms, just make things more livable for them. It feels like some part of this isn't comfortable. It's not livable. They want to improve it in some way. I do feel like like if their goal is to clear the air, there's almost this feeling that they're telling themselves that they should be satisfied with that, because I think that this person wants more than just simply to put the past behind you, let bygones be bygones, you know, agree to be friends or whatever. I think that ultimately they want more than that. I think they would like you to play a more vital role in their life. Again, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could even be like a family member connection. This could be like maybe you had a falling out with your mother or something, and it's like, of course this person would want to make things right. They would want to have maybe an open line of communication, or have no bad feelings, no ill will toward each other. But at the same time, they really would want something more than that. They really would want more of an emotional connection, more of a deeper connection, more communication, to be in each other's lives on a more daily basis. So I feel like this person is saying, you know, if all I can do is just tell them how I feel, then that will have to be good enough. But I wish it could be more than that. They kind of go back and forth about how much they want to share. and how much they would share if they got the chance. They like question, would I share all of this emotional stuff? Or would I kind of stick to a surface level conversation and just try to establish just some baseline of communication? I do feel like that's the hesitation for a lot of you, like in a lot of your circumstances, because it's like, if I get this chance, I'm going to want to just spill everything. But maybe that's a little too much. Maybe we should just just chat, just be friendly, just talk about the weather, but like they want to say so much more than small talk. Yeah, this is on their minds. It's been on their mind. I feel like a lot of you, this might be a situation that's been going on for a long time, because like I was saying, they've gotten to this mature king place and they've been in this hanged man kind of scenario, and they could have been in that place for so long. Also, just the way that this energy feels like it wants to come through yesterday is making me think this could have either been going on for a long time, or even if it hasn't technically been that long, it's long enough in this person's eyes. It's too long. They want to communicate. They want to say what they need to say. When I look at the bottom of the deck energy, I can really see, like, I'm getting a little clue as to what they want to talk to you about besides the deep emotional feelings that they are having. This person has changed. They've gone through some sort of transformation with the Death card right in the center. They want to talk to you about it. They want you to know about it. So this could be changes that you were wanting this person to make, and maybe they were resistant to it, but now they've made them. They want to communicate about it, and that's probably why they are so excited. Again, I don't really want to say impatient, but why they are so, I don't know, like why they want to communicate so badly. It could be that they've like accepted a new job, or they've gotten their life together in some way, and they want you. I feel like this is something they think you would be proud of. So some change that needed to take place that the two of you may have discussed, maybe some change you wanted to see in them, some change to their circumstances that you wanted to see, and they think, hey, I made this change and you would be so proud of me. I can't wait to share this with you. I think for a lot of you, this person, this might have to do with some form of stability. They've created some form of stability in their life, and this might have been something you were asking them to do with the Ace of Materials. Also with the Four of Inspiration, really gives me that like home vibe. They could have like bought a home, or they might have taken a new position that will allow them to do these things in the future. It will allow them to offer a more stable environment, a more stable situation, and they just really want to tell you about it. This could also be that this person is feeling like they're in a place now where they want to settle down with you. With the Four of Wands, it gives me that vibe. So the change that they made might have been like, hey, I wasn't ready for all that before. I wasn't ready for that commitment, but now I'm ready. I'm ready to settle down. I'm looking more toward the future and to building a happy home with you. And I just get the feeling that you wanted some kind of harmony with this person. You wanted a life with this person, and like they might not have been ready for it then. They might not have been able to provide that at the time. This is all about maturity. There's something here about maturity. This person has matured in some way. They're showing up as two kings. They are bringing a very, very stable energy, very earthy energy. They might be an earth sign, but really we have a lot of signs present here. So this might just be the energy that they are embodying at the time, but they could definitely be an earth sign. They could be a fire sign. We've got Scorpio energy here with this Death card. They could be a water sign. So we're all over the place here. Even air with the Knight of Voices. But the bottom line is some amount of maturity is coming through from this person. There's something they want to talk to you about. There's something they want to offer you. When they think about you, they think about this new situation that they're in. Like, every time they think about this new job that they took, they think, oh, I want to tell them I have this job now. I want to tell them that I'm in a better position now. Or every time they think about the way that their mindset has changed, the way that they're looking more towards a future with you now, they think like, I wish I could just share that with them. I'm in a more stable place here. I've changed. I'm ready for some of the stuff I wasn't ready for before. Yeah, Four of Inspiration gives me, this is really the card of reunion. It's a card of celebration. In this context, it's giving me the feeling of appreciation as well. So I think that they're finding a lot of appreciation for you now. Like they kind of didn't feel like they appreciated you enough, or like they didn't appreciate the things that you may have been asking for or pushing for in this connection. Now they're starting to appreciate it. They see the value in it. They see why you were looking at things the way that you were. So definitely, let's pull some oracle cards, because I am just blabbing on and on. Let's see what else. I do think that this has something to do with this person's day-to-day. The reason I say that is because, like, initially I was like, yeah, they're thinking about you all the time, if not every day. And I think that that might be happening because whatever changes they've made in their life, it's something that's a very real part of their daily life. And every time they do this thing, or they see this thing, or they think about this, they think about you too. So if this is about stability, and it could be like using the example about a job that they got or something, every time they go to work, they think about you. They think, this was the job that they wanted me to have, or this is a job that's going to allow me to be more stable, or to have more time to spend, or whatever the issue was, you know. It just feels like that. It feels like it's a part of their daily life, and that you're popping into their mind in connection with this all the time. We have the Truth card. Yeah. That's that Knight of Voices. They want to tell you the truth about something. They want to tell you about their progress, you know? They want to share everything that they've realized with you. And almost like a feeling of they want to share their new truth with you. Yeah. I feel like there's this feeling that like they were not on your level in the past, and this is coming from them, so you might not have even felt like this, but it's like they had the feeling they weren't on your level in some way. Like maybe you're just way more mature than they are, or you were more established. There's this feeling of like they weren't on your level, and now they started to wake up. And they want to be really honest with you about that. They want to tell you like, oh, I realize now you were totally right. We have Believe in the Impossible. I'm going to pull another one of these with Blue Moon energy. And we have You're very close to achieving your goal with Gibbous Moon. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of deeper emotions here that's part of this truth that they want to reveal as well. They want to just really spill the beans. They want to talk to you. So these two Moonology cards that we had, I feel like there might have been a situation in this connection where you thought that this person would never come around. Like they would never see things the way that you do. They would never make the moves or take the action that you wanted them to take. And you were looking for an outcome with them. I think that sometimes felt far-fetched, like they're never going to get it, they're never going to change type of feeling. And these were the conclusions you were coming to at the time based on like what you were seeing from this person. But I think that this person wants to say to you, you know, I never thought I would get to this place. Maybe they didn't think that they were going to grow to this level either, but it's something that seemed like it was impossible. And that's what they are working toward. That's what they've been working toward. So that's what they want to let you know about. And this is really a sign, like this is telling you, believe in the impossible. Like you're almost there. This person might be really close to making some changes that it seemed like they would never make. We have serendipity. I feel like I need to move these cards over a little bit. Yeah. There's a part of them that really knows that you came into their life for a reason. You may have even pushed them to make some changes or to grow in ways that they never would have without your presence in their life. That's kind of the same feeling the Four of Inspiration was giving me, this feeling of appreciation. So there is kind of this like fated or destined feeling when it comes to this connection. Those kind of things might be the things that they feel a little silly sharing. Or maybe they want to drink a little sherry. I don't know. They might feel a little bit silly sharing that with you because it just sounds so like ooey gooey and so, you know, out there. But this is how they're feeling. They really do feel like, hey, this happened for a reason. You came into my life for a reason. You came right on time, and like something about this was fated. They know they wouldn't have done this growth without you. And they're really grateful for that. And they want, I think part of this is they want to thank you for that. Like if nothing else, they want to be able to thank you for the things that you woke them up to. No matter what's going to happen in the future with this connection, I think they do want to express some form of gratitude. Okay, let's pull a couple more tarot cards because I just have been wanting to look at whether or not your person is interested in sharing some of their thoughts or feelings with people in their life. So just kind of looking to see, because you might not be hearing from them, but is anyone hearing? Like, are they talking about this, their feelings, their worries, their concerns about this connection with anybody in their life? So we have the Ten of Swords. That's pretty heavy. And we'll get one more. And we have the Seven of Swords. Okay. No, they're not talking. They're not talking about this. That's kind of a shame because I feel like they've done a lot of work, but still it feels like they want to keep this to themselves a little bit. They're not being really upfront about their feelings in this connection with anyone around them. And they're not really being honest. So if there was like a lot of loss here and they've been in this place of trying to find themselves and trying to grow and trying to evolve, I feel like they kept a lot of that to themselves. This whole transformation that they went through, they're doing it all by themselves. I think this might be truthfully because they have a lot of guilt about how things went down between the two of you. They have a lot of regret. They wish they had handled things differently. There's a feeling that they don't really want to have to own up to the mistakes that they've made because they kind of feel like if they admit them out loud to anyone else, that makes them more real. And I think that this person's main goal is to fix things with you. They want to talk to you. They want some kind of reconciliation with you, even if that's just getting to like a point where you're on speaking terms or something like that. They want that reassurance from you that everything's okay and that they have been forgiven for some of the mistakes that they've made. I feel like they don't really want to, they're kind of embarrassed. They don't really want to talk to anybody about that until they know that things can work out the way that they want them to go. Yeah, they're going to keep their feelings to themselves because there's shame here. There's a little bit of embarrassment here about how they handled it. And they don't want a public, I feel like they just don't want the public display. And I also think that they don't want to admit that they may have lost you because that's not what, like being honest with you, that's not the outcome that this person is looking for. They don't want to have lost you forever. And I feel like if they talk to somebody about it, it's like that might come up in the conversation. Somebody might say, oh, do you think maybe it's just over? And they don't they don't really want to deal with that. That's the thing they're most fearful of with the Ten of Swords. They're most fearful of losing you. They're afraid that they might not ever be able to get this back on track. So yeah, I feel like they just kind of keep that to themselves, and they're just hoping that they will have the opportunity to fix things with you. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. If you liked this reading, if any of these messages resonated for you, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye!